Have you ever heard of a real near-death experience? These stories, known as NDEs, continue to leave doctors and scientists speechless. But the real question remains: what happens after death? This is where science hits a wall, a place where the most advanced tools, the brightest minds, and the most precise diagnoses are suddenly useless. A threshold where logic crumbles and reality turns into something else. That's where the mystery begins. In hospitals around the world, every single day, doctors make definitive statements. They won't make it through the night. They'll never wake up. And yet, like flashes of light breaking through the darkness, there are stories that defy all expectations. People waking from comas after months, walking again after being told they never would. Reclaiming life where everything once seemed lost. What really happens in those moments? What steps in beyond medicine? One of the most powerful stories comes from the world of Formula One. On May 1, 1994, during the Grand Prix of Imola, Ayrton Senna, one of the most beloved and respected drivers of all time, suffered a devastating crash. When medical personnel pulled him from the wreckage, one of them was neurosurgeon Dr. Sid Watkins, a legend in motorsport safety. In that heart-wrenching moment, Watkins later recalled, "We lifted him from the car and laid him on the ground. Just as we did, he sighed, and although I'm completely agnostic, I felt his soul leave at that moment." These are not the words of a mystic, but of a scientist. And yet, they capture the deep complexity of what lies beyond the physical, beyond the measurable. There are countless testimonies of lights, sounds, presences, people who, in the very moment a loved one passed, report feeling a vibration in the air, a breath, an unexplainable glow. Some describe peace, others speak of a powerful presence, something sacred moving between dimensions. Are these illusions, side effects of grief, or glimpses fleeting and fragile of a reality larger than the one we know? Many of these accounts come from those who have lived a near-death experience. In that space between life and death, they say consciousness seems to leave the body hovering, watching, understanding. They speak of tunnels of light, of beings made of light, of profound messages of love, landscapes unlike anything on earth. Some see loved ones who passed long ago, others receive a message. It's not your time yet, and then they're suddenly back, ripped out of that peace, jolted into their bodies, wide awake from a dream more real than life. But in today's digital world, where content is consumed in seconds and stories are monetized, another phenomenon emerges: the sensationalization of NDEs. Too often, real stories are twisted, dramatized, and reshaped for clicks and profit. That's why we must keep our critical thinking sharp, separating truth from entertainment. Near-death experiences aren't spectacle. They are sacred moments, deserving of reverence. And here lies our greatest challenge: to accept that the human mind, remarkable as it is, has limits. All our knowledge, formulas, and calculations are human-made. Our view of reality is filtered through tools we built. But what if those tools aren't enough? What if there's a higher level of reality that slips through the cracks of our equations? In that context, faith isn't a retreat, it's an opening. Believing doesn't mean rejecting science. It means allowing room for something beyond it. Just as we look down at ants and see something tiny and simple, perhaps someone else looks at us the same way. For those who believe that someone has a name, God, Allah, Yahweh, or, for Christians, the Trinity. In the stillness of the night, when we're left alone with the great questions about life, death, and the soul, that's when the presence of something greater can be felt. We can't measure it. We can't prove it. But sometimes, all it takes is a breath to feel it whisper through us. If the first part of this journey led us to reflect on mystery and the limits of human knowledge, now we go even deeper into the heart of near-death experiences. These testimonies, as unbelievable as they may seem, often share striking similarities, as if they were describing a real place, a different dimension, somehow connected to ours. One of the most fascinating aspects of NDEs is the consistency. Thousands of people from different backgrounds, cultures, and religions report nearly identical elements: a warm, welcoming light, an overwhelming sense of peace, a life review, like a movie played back in mere seconds. But what's even more powerful is the transformation that follows. Materialistic people return deeply spiritual. Those filled with anger come back with a sense of universal love. Many lose their fear of death. Others feel they've been given a new mission in life. Among the most remarkable stories is that of Anita Moorjani, a woman diagnosed with terminal lymphoma. While in a coma, she experienced a near-death state, where she said she found herself in a realm of pure consciousness. There, she realized her illness had stemmed from fear and self-rejection. When she came back, she healed completely, within days, leaving doctors stunned. Then there's Dr. Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon and skeptic, who fell into a coma from a rare meningitis. He described a vivid spiritual journey where he met a woman in a celestial landscape who told him, "You are deeply loved. You have nothing to fear." Upon waking, his life and his faith were completely transformed. This raises a haunting question. Where does consciousness go when the brain shuts down? Is it merely an illusion caused by residual brain activity? Or could it be evidence that consciousness exists beyond the physical body? Science, of course, tries to explain it. Lack of oxygen, surges of DMT, trauma-induced hallucinations. But these theories fall short. They don't account for people who, during clinical brain death, could describe in detail what was happening in the operating room, who was there, what was said, details later confirmed by medical staff. In many ways, near-death experiences may be the one human phenomenon where spirituality and science touch a thin line between life and death, where, for a moment, a window to eternity seems to open. As the philosopher Blaise Pascal once wrote, "The heart has its reasons, which reason knows not." In a world racing toward artificial intelligence, automation, and space colonization, it may be worth remembering that mystery still surrounds us, that the soul, love, and light, those things we cannot measure or hold, may be the most real of all. So whether you're a believer, agnostic, or atheist, perhaps the question isn't whether these experiences are real, but what they're trying to tell us. Maybe they're reminding us that we are more than flesh and bone, that we are consciousness, light, breath, and that, in the moment of our death, it isn't the end, but a return. Because, as someone who's seen beyond once said, it's not your time, there's still something left to live. Every life has a design, every soul a path, and when the moment truly arrives, it won't be an ending, but a promised return. Thank you for walking with us through this mystery. If this touched something inside you, share it, leave a comment, and keep exploring with us. Subscribe to the channel. See you soon.